Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 30th, 2014, and this is Before the First Cup with Lady Pitbull here on UCY.TV. How is everybody out there this morning? Well, let me see here. I'm kind of going solo, and Jules is getting ready to come back from her vacation, so she's gonna be doing that, and I hope Zori's mom is doing okay out there. She was having a little problems there. Seems like everybody's kind of having problems with moms lately, which is not such a good thing. So we wish everybody's moms well out there. Let me see here. Maybe, just maybe, I can... Let's see here. Maybe I can bring in Hammy. Maybe he'll be answering and saying hey to us here in a minute. Do I gotcha?
I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Best wishes to Zori's mom.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dan's mom, too.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's mom, too.
Yeah, I think we all got old moms now.
Yeah, that's the cycle of life, man. There's nothing that can be done about that. So, but we do wish everybody's moms well, and we wish Jules safe passage from back to her house. So, absolutely.
Safe passage through North Korea on your way back to freedom.
That's right. That's pretty much what we've got now here in this country, isn't it? It just sucks. Oh my God! Did you hear that? That Kim Jong-un. He I don't know. One of his generals threatened to nuke the Pentagon and crap. Did you hear that?
You know, I did hear that, and honestly, I take any kind of outrageous, provocative news that comes out of North Korea as complete and utter bullshit.
I agree.
I don't think that, honestly, I don't think Kim Jong-un is worried about the United States at all. He knows that he can do whatever he wants. I mean, seriously, the guy launches like 500 rockets at Japan and South Korea and into the water where there's boats all the time, and we don't do a damn thing.
Nothing.
And I seriously, I think whatever they say about South Korea, and especially the more outrageous it becomes, oh, South Korea says that they're going to nuke Houston and take everybody's ice cream sandwiches. No. I truly do not believe anything that comes out of North Korea news.
I agree. I'm echoing in this thing. Can you hear an echo?
No, actually, you sound pretty good to me, but I don't have a feed on, so.
Oh, right. So I don't have a feed on either, and I didn't last night, and I heard Captain Gringo was echoing, and it was like, gosh, what am I doing? I can't do anything about this. So
bigger hammer to the side of the machine.
A sledgehammer.
It is a temperamental high-tech machine, so it might be better off to use like a tack hammer.
Yeah, well, I rebooted I got the freaking Skype updates, and I don't know if that's helping or hurting because I haven't echoed before.
But I think everybody's got a different version of Skype on their computer.
Yeah, I do too.
Had the same computer for a while, because up until my computer cracked out, I had a version of Skype from like 2010.
Wow.
And but actually, I think it was like 2009, and then it crapped out. And then I upgraded and upgraded to whatever, and I just think it's not on the same page. I just have lost it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what's going on. They're never going to get anybody on the same page with that. Jules refuses to update, so there's like nothing you can do about that.
It's funny though, when I do, I speak to some people on Skype, and if they've got an older version, Skype alerts me to alert them to reboot and upgrade and all that, and it'll actually come up with a little bomb icon, like if you don't have your friend re-update, this entire machine will explode.
Yeah, pretty much what it says. That's hilarious, and it's, I mean, it's fear and intimidation tactics again. You know what I'm saying?
Skype Kata.
Skype Kata. That's awesome, dude. That's exactly what it is. We're gonna come get you if you don't kowtow to our demands. It's ridiculous. They do that in every aspect of our lives. Oh my God, if you don't get this vaccine, you're gonna die. Oh my God, if you don't... I hate that crap. It's ridiculous. They just want us to live in fear, and guess what? We ain't falling for it, so screw you, dude.
That's kind of the way I see it. I think everybody's gonna eventually kind of get a message here, and it'll come to everybody in its own time. But I have a feeling that it's going to be through the money situation.
Sure.
I really do. I've noticed. I tend to read Reddit a lot just because it's a fairly decent news aggregator, and so anybody posts a story. Well, with the current world situation, which the USA imperialism and the Putin supposedly shooting down the jet, like Putin did it himself, like he, got up on his roof with a rifle and shot it down. And then all the stuff going on in Israel and Gaza, it's just, it's propaganda left and right. And I think they're really trying to cover the money situation.
Yeah.
I really do.
I agree, with a lot of distractions.
Well, I do know that there was a story yesterday that was showing that the United States Congress has pushed through an emergency bill for $225 million for the Iron Dome in Israel.
Are you kidding
no,
me right now?
Absolutely not. You're lucky that there wasn't a congressional resolution to pass your panties off to Israel.
That's right, man. I mean, what? Okay, so where are they getting all this freaking money? And they're also passing freaking emergency resolutions to help with the crisis on the border. It's just
that's another manufactured issue, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, 110%. Which drives me freaking crazy, because what it's doing is it's creating tension between us and, Mexicans and Guatemalans and,
Well, that's absolutely the design, right?
Yes.
I mean, if you take a look back, like through history, and let's just take a look at the demonization of cannabis, right? Everybody knows cannabis today as marijuana. But marijuana is kind of like versus the Japanese. Every one of those Japanese looks like a rat. You there? Oh, I think I may have cut out.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
You were cutting out, though. Everything you said was completely garbled except for that last bit of every Japanese looks like a rat. So
yeah, that's the good part, right?
Yeah.
But what I was saying is, if you look back through the propaganda, Disney made a whole bunch of cartoons during World War II.
Yes.
And every one of those Disney cartoons portraying the enemy, whether it was Germans or the Japanese, and I didn't really see any that showed a bunch of Italians or anything, but they've been demonized enough in the media by that point. Sure. But every German looked like some sort of like ogre beast, and every Japanese looked like a rat. And you have to demonize your enemy. You have to make it less than human.
That's right.
I think they're doing the same thing with the border situation.
Absolutely, by design, and like I was in the grocery line the other day, and a Mexican guy, got behind me with his little EBT card out, and I found myself getting pissed off, and I shouldn't get pissed off at him. He's just all they're doing is just seeing the free lunch sign, come on over. You know what I mean? That's all. It's not their fault.
I want to know. Let me throw a couple things at you real quick. All right,
Sure.
so let's say this guy gets freebie food. He's got EBT card and all the freebies. How much in benefits a month do you think that guy totally gets? If you count like the free phone and the free food and free health care and free bus passes and even free rent, how much does that guy get a month? Maybe $4,000 a month?
At least, yeah, I would say.
I mean, well, what would you say would be the upper end?
The upper end would be 4. I would say
Okay.
4 to 5 perhaps. The lower end would be maybe 2.
Okay. And with that $4,000, that comes out to be approximately 9 gallons of JP8 fuel that the military uses in Afghanistan. That's the standard fuel that they use for everything. Tanks, helicopters, jets, jeeps, generators. They burn the latrine shit with it. It's the ultimate fuel for use for everything, and it's really cheap stuff. It's like kerosene.
Oh, okay.
That stuff costs $450 a gallon. I personally would rather see that Mexican guy getting the $4,000 or the $5,000 rather than putting that money straight into Halliburton's hands, because, well, I mean, you can go to Walmart right now and you can buy expensive lamp oil, which is almost the exact same stuff as the JP8. I mean, it's just kerosene. And a gallon of that stuff at Walmart, which is outrageously priced, is like $4, maybe $7.
Right. I think the problem with that, though, is that they're going to still be buying the fuel regardless, and printing money out of thin air to cover the guy's $4,000. That's the problem I've got with it. We just don't have the money, and they just keep printing and printing and printing away.
Right. We don't have the money, yet we still bomb everybody.
Right.
Every opportunity. and I truly think that the more money we put into blowing stuff up is, well, that's definitely part of the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, are you familiar with what a javelin missile is?
No.
It's a handheld anti-personnel, anti-material weapon. You can blow up a tank with it. You can blow up a truck with it. You can blow up a house with it.
Wow.
It's a single shot. It's a tube launched. Basically, it's a disposable weapon. Those things cost about $90,000.
Whoa.
The guy who's shooting it won't make $90,000 that year, and the guy he's shooting it at won't make $90,000 in his entire lifetime.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that's where the problem is.
Sure, the corporations like Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, and all these, General Dynamics and all these, all these bastard
The people
corporations.
that bring good things to life.
That's right, GE too. That's right. These bastards are the problem. I mean, we know for a fact that the corporations are instilling the corporations in a society as part of one of the Communist Manifesto planks.
Oh, absolutely. And the easiest way to do that is to implement the Communist Manifesto is to, well, mess with the money.
Yeah,
make people cranky over the money. Because communism does nothing but exploit like the divide between the classes.
That's right. And it's really, really going strong right now, and they've got a really nice foothold here in this country. And all the whole border crisis, so-called crisis thing, is just to make it so that they will get people in here to fight with us. You know what I mean? It's kind of like their own personal army in a way that they're bringing these people in here, just for destabilization purposes. Because Chuck was saying last night that there were, people are saying, oh, they're bringing them in here so that the Democrats can buffer their voting coffers, and he was right when he was saying that that's not exactly the whole entire picture. It's purely destabilization is what the deal is.
I'd be honest with you, I think they're trying to push for a race war. I really do. Which totally makes sense, because if you've got an enemy, or you've got several enemies, do you want to fight those several enemies, or do you want to turn those enemies on each other and have them fight each other for you? And you just come in and pick up the mess.
That's exactly what they do. And the UN did that same damn thing in Africa with the Tutsis and the Hutus tribes. They turned them on each other and armed the Tutsis, and then the Tutsis went in and they armed the Tutsis with all the machetes, and the Tutsis completely slaughtered the Hutus. Or it could have been the other way around in that scenario. But the main point is that they armed one of them, you know what I mean? And they're arming them down. They're arming the Mexican gangs right now. They're with the drug running.
We arm everybody.
That's
Last night we covered $726 million of weaponry that went missing, and it was like something like 277,000 Kalashnikovs. The AK-47s or their variants of 277,000 rifles is a lot of rifles.
Ton. And where are they going? Probably down south to the Mexican drug gangs, or
they're in Syria, they're in Libya, they're in wherever we need to foment unrest and arm the boogeyman that we told the American public about.
That's correct. ISIS, they're arming. They've armed ISIS to the teeth. I mean, Saudi Arabia's in there financing the bulk of that, giving these.
I'll tell you, man, the ISIS thing is so see-through. I really can't comprehend how most people don't see it, because every day there's a new news story where ISIS just completely commits the most outrageous atrocity since yesterday.
That's right.
And every news story is about that. And what are we going to do? Well, let's take a look back at when the first news stories about ISIS were coming in. There was a video of a long line of Toyota trucks, probably about 80, 85 Toyota trucks, coming in with all these guys, waving the banner and wearing the burqa and the, jihad and all that kind of noise, right?
Yeah.
But they're all in brand new Toyota trucks. Now, you got to get those trucks from somewhere.
That's right.
So either Toyota's got a listing of who bought, 80 brand new trucks, or Toyota of Abu Dhabi's got a list of who bought those 80 brand new, exactly identical trucks.
Absolutely.
So I think that's kind of interesting. I take a look at what's going on in Africa, and especially the Sudan, South Sudan thing. Because I think if Africa pops, that's where it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you look at all the African soldiers that they say, these are the Sudan rebels coming in to start problems in South Sudan, because South Sudan's now our only friend in Africa, right?
Yeah.
All those guys had brand new uniforms, brand new Chinese-made AK-47s, and they were all in Great Wall trucks. And I think the balance of power has shifted. I really do, and I think we're just kind of watching from the sides.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because that's exactly what the hell's happening out there, and they're oh my God, they're running roughshod all over the entire world, and the Ukrainian thing, that whole thing is it's ramping up exponentially day by day. The only place that we're not trying to destabilize is frickin' New Zealand.
There's probably Maori Keita there or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
New Zealand better hope that they're not living on tons of oil or uranium or lithium or something. Because I swear to God, we can find terrorists anywhere.
Yeah.
But do you people want some freedom? Because that's how you get some freedom.
Yeah, remember George Bush looked under the tables for him, you know? And the thing about, like, Iraq right now is that look at all what they're doing right now. They're running and just killing people just en masse, okay? And really, we're not rushing in there at all. We're just letting it happen for a while, la-di-da, waiting on the sidelines like you were just saying. But just think back to Saddam's time when he was there, and what was the excuse? We went in there for the first time. Well,
weapons of mass destruction, right?
No, that was the second time. The first time was some little girl's freaking testimony about how they were leaving babies and pulling them out of the incubators. Yeah, and leaving them on the cold floor. You know, and then
that girl was who gave that testimony? She was the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador to the United States. She was not a nurse. She hadn't been in Kuwait in the last 15 years.
Jeez.
They played her off as a nurse.
Oh, yeah. See? This is what we do. We went in there for just a teeny little made-up infraction, right? And then we went in there like gangbusters and, you know, blew and PTSD'd a bunch of our guys that I actually personally know. And, just shot them up with squalene, shot them up with, you know, and, I mean, I'd say that the infractions that the ISIS dudes are inflicting upon the people of Iraq right now are a hell of a lot worse than, you know, a couple of babies left on the cold floor. You know what I mean?
But like, ISIS still doesn't even make any sense, because if we go back to that big old long line of Toyotas and them coming in, you know, honking the horn and waving the flag of jihad, so, like, they started taking cities from the north of Iraq and coming in and taking this city and then taking that city. And then I think they got to Mosul, which is a fairly large city in Iraq. It's like, when it's not bombed all to hell and it's got all its utilities, I think it's like a population of like 4 million people.
Oh,
probably
wow.
about the size of, maybe a little bit smaller than, like, you know, Houston or something. Okay. Well, ISIS came in and they were pretty much hot on telling you it was 800 ISIS soldiers that had come in, and these 800, and the 800 guys were coming in, they were scaring everybody and blah, blah, blah. Well, the big news was that the 800 guys made an Iraqi army division of 30,000 men, and then an armed civilian population, because, believe it or not, civilians in Iraq have the right by Iraq's constitution to own an AK-47, and it's not a semi-auto; it's a full deal AK-47, the real deal. All right, so you got 500,000 people that, you know, let's just say that comes out to be 100,000 AK-47s, and then on top of the 30,000 soldiers, how did 800 guys do this? It doesn't make any sense. Dude,
that's a really good question. I mean, how in the hell does that happen? I mean, it was just like in the very first, we call it, here in the militia circles, we call it Desert Dust 1. And, cause there was Desert Dust 1, and then after the, you know, 9/11 happened, Desert Dust 2 happened. So, in Desert Dust 1, all the Iraqi army folded up and ran away. You know what I mean? There was very little opposition there.
Right. And I mean, they still haven't even addressed any of the potential war crimes claims from the first from Desert Storm. Yeah. Because it was Desert Shield and then Desert Storm and then Enduring Freedom and then Operation Smack Saddam or something like that. You know, just these crazy names that, you know, more propaganda. Exactly. But, you know, they were saying that there were ditches full of troops that bulldozers and tanks, you know, just buried alive. You know, there's like 50,000 people buried alive.
Oh, I know. It's just mass graves, man, just all over the place there. It's terrible. And they're doing the same shit now.
Oh, yeah. But now they've got a very complacent populace to to play it, too. But you have to look at the mindset of the United States after Boston. I mean, really, you've got the chief of police in Boston saying that, people don't need a rifle, you don't need a shotgun. He wants to be the ultimate choice in the final say in who has the right to arm themselves. Yet, wasn't Boston the site of, the great big manhunt for the 2 backpack bombers?
That's
and
right.
The whole city on lockdown? The whole city on lockdown?
They were going door to door.
That's why they don't want you to have a rifle or a shotgun.
That's right. For when they do start going door to door. They did that crap after Katrina.
On the prepper side, I don't know if anybody saw that if DHS is offering a $500 reward if you inform on people who are prepping.
Oh, I heard that, at the tail end last night of the Prepper Chick show. So what's the deal with that, man? That's crazy.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, $500 a piece. NSA, I know you're listening. It's the Mormons. The Mormons, they all got it. So let's figure how many Mormons, and ka-ching, I just scored. I turned in all the Mormons. They all got 6 months of food, 2 years of food.
Well, how about this? How about our so-called leaders in Washington? They're prepping. I mean, they've got bunkers, fully stocked bunkers that they all have that they're all ready to go into right now. And so why can't we turn them in too? Hey, if we can't have it, they can't either. Bastards. It pisses me off.
It's a bad scene. I think it's going to take a little bit more time for more people to see it, and I really think that what people have to see is the money. I think trying to get people outraged for somebody's civil rights or human rights that are being violated it's not gonna work. But I do think that if they can see that, a gallon of fuel costs $450, and the military doesn't use, fuel-efficient vehicles.
Right. the military, God, make them go out to electric cars and electric ACPs.
Well, okay, so let's just say an M1 Abrams, the main battle tank for the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 2 jet turbine engines in it.
Whoa.
Well, just to start the thing, just to turn it on, takes 12 gallons of fuel.
Wow. Dude, I never knew that. That's nuts.
Yeah, they're big. They're big old heavy things. I think they carry 500 gallons, I think is what they carry, or 400 gallons. And it comes out to be about 2 miles a gallon that the thing gets after you use the 12 gallons to start it.
Oh, my God. That's something I had no idea about.
Seriously, they should just given everybody a Dodge truck. You'd have got a little bit better mileage.
Yeah, or go to the Saudis and get Toyotas. Shit. Bastards. That's crazy. So, I mean, planes and stuff have got to use, way more than that.
Oh, I would imagine so. And, if you've ever seen exhaust from a plane, I'm not talking about contrails flying over or anything like that, but actually, when a plane is on the ground and it starts, there's quite a bit of particulate matter in the exhaust.
Yeah,
so these things they're not clean vehicles. They don't have a catalytic converter on them.
No, they don't. It would be the size of freaking Milwaukee if that was the case. Jeez, man. Yeah, I've seen that before. I've flown on planes and seen them when they're on the tarmac and seen all this crap coming out. And that in itself is pretty bad to be burning in the atmosphere. So, and nobody's worried about that stuff.
I do wonder how much of the carbon load is attributable to Al Gore's private jet that flies everywhere, so he can give a speech on global warming and higher concentration of hydrocarbons. I wonder how much his jet puts out.
Probably 1.5 tons, I'm sure. I'm totally sure about that. And wasn't there a bunch of like congressmen that are getting their own private jets, like Nancy Pelosi and her ilk and Barbara Baxter and all them?
I believe that Nancy Pelosi, along with her plan for free flights, that she flies either private jet or first class everywhere she goes. Mm-hmm. I do know that when she was flying on military planes, that she had used over $100,000 of alcohol on those flights.
Really?
Like over a year's time.
Like booze, you mean?
Yeah, booze. Yeah.
What?
$100,000 of drinking alcohol for the plane rides.
Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. So Nancy Pelosi is a freaking alkie. Oh my God. Here we go, guys.
Or the people that she's trying to run through the system are completely alkies.
Yeah, exactly. Or they're all just freaking alkies, and all they want to do is just party and not do their damn jobs, which is they're not doing. Oh, well, maybe they are doing it very well. It just pisses me off, man. These people think that they're so far above us, and they aren't. I've got news for them.
Well, then, if you really want to start getting mad at that, then we got to start looking at the lobbyists.
Oh man!
And, if people truly knew how lobbying works in the United States, I think tomorrow by noon we would be ankle deep in blood.
Yeah.
If people had a rough idea of how lobbyists work, I'd like to see how many people really know what AIPAC does.
Yeah.
I truly think that AIPAC's it's an agent of a foreign government, and they're not our friends.
Yeah, such as Israel.
Yeah, well, AIPAC is American Israeli Political Action Committee.
Oh, right, okay.
And by the way, Wolf Blitzer, lead anchor for CNN, just happened to be the spokesman for AIPAC before he became lead anchor for CNN.
Of course he was. And Blitzer's probably not his real last name either.
I don't know. His name was Wolf Blitzer when he was working for AIPAC. But
very interesting. These people are absolutely off their rockers, and what are we going to do about all this? That's what I don't know. Are we going to just go up there and just start arresting, citizens arrest? I mean,
no, because pitchforks and torches are not on sale at Walmart this week, so that won't happen.
Nobody remembers how to make tar for tar and feathering anymore.
That's right. We have to go get the tar. The tar shipment from China was delayed.
Yeah, delayed for an indeterminate amount of time. Man, oh man, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I don't know. The whole world is going off the chain right now. And there's going to be a lot of innocent lives lost. I mean, who knows what's coming across the freaking border? We know the diseases are coming across, that they won't be able to handle. And then you got the Ebola coming in. You heard that the guy who died in Nigeria was on his way. He was on his way back to Minnesota, apparently.
That's a good place to put him.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Well, he died in Nigeria, but his family, he was getting ready to come back. He was going through Nigeria airport apparently to come back en route back to Minnesota. So he never made it, but the next one's going to. You know what I mean? And
well, I think maybe the next one already has.
Yeah.
Little interesting story I saw this morning. United States Air Force cargo plane landed in someplace in Germany, and when the wheels went down, a body fell out.
Whoa!
And it was a young African boy, and then they gave where this plane had stopped in Africa prior to getting to Germany, and yeah, that's Ebola. That's Ebola there too. Oh, there's Ebola there all over the place. Yeah.
People are trying to flee.
Maybe that's a bomb. Maybe the kid wasn't,
Yeah.
There's no better way to spread it than, didn't anybody see, like, what was that movie, 12 Monkeys or 13 Monkeys or something like that?
Yeah, 12 Monkeys, I saw that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's exactly the way it happens. And that's exactly the way it's going to happen, too. Or perhaps you're right, it already has happened. The dude gets on the plane, and then, his luggage gets inspected, and then, you gotta open the little tube.
And then he goes into the snack bar and coughs and sneezes all over everybody. Plane going to Alaska, and then a plane going to Frankfurt, Germany, and a plane going to Seoul, South Korea, and then a plane going to Paris, France, or something. And everybody's got a little bit of the goo now.
Exactly. That's exactly it, man. And then it just boom, it just takes one little thing, and then it spreads. Now, the article I was reading at this time yesterday was saying that Ebola, you can't really catch it so quickly, and you can't, it's really hard because you have to deal with certain body fluids and not other body fluids such as saliva and sneezing. You can't get it that way, but if you come in contact with feces or urine, and you know what I mean, then you can get Ebola.
Yeah, if you come in contact with feces or urine as part of your daily occupation, I would almost dare say that you deserve to get that.
Well, and here's the thing, though. That was one article that said that. So-called experts are saying that in one article. Then here's another article that's saying the deadly Ebola virus can spread like wildfire, like a forest fire in the USA. So these freaking news agencies, man, they're contradicting themselves right and left and center, and it just pisses me off when I see this.
Well, who was the guy that took over for George Bush as head of the CIA right before he became vice president? I think it was William Colby was his name.
Okay.
And in the very first meeting for CIA people that he gave, and it was recorded, he said basically that the plan will be complete when everything that the American public sees or reads in the media and truly believes is a lie.
That's right.
And I think we're kind of there now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're beyond there. And yeah, man, I had a guy tell me that as soon as marijuana becomes decriminalized across the board in this country, that's when they're going to pull the trigger and, subjugate the crap out of us.
Like we're not subjugated now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh my God, they've already pulled the trigger on all that, man. It's in slow motion, right? So, I wonder, like, when you look at some of these, like, maps, like on the spread of Ebola and how long it would take to encircle the freaking Earth, it's not going to be too much longer before we're going to start seeing it like, oh no, Ebola's here in the American soil. It's going to be real soon, like within the next 2 weeks, I bet we'll hear it.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that. That'd be a good way to control a lot of people.
Absolutely. Scare the crap out of everybody. I mean, start, panic. A pandemic panic. Say that 10 times fast.
No. Too early for that.
Definitely. I appreciate you being on here with me, man. It's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's good for me because it gives me a chance to, because I walk when I talk, and I can't just sit in a chair and talk. That's a little problem I got. So it gives me a reason to up and move around, and gives me a chance to express what I really feel. Because anything that you put anywhere, I think it's just only a few people are seeing any kind of information that you put out or your opinion that you put out, and this gives me a little bit more room to yap, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Get our stuff out in the ether, man, and hopefully it'll do some good somewhere. I mean, jeez, we got to be speaking out against this crap. I don't know. It's coming fast though, and I really think economically, I think you're right. They're going to be they're pulling the rug out right now in slow motion. It's all
everybody talks about the BRICS and how Europe is having their problems and all this. I think everybody's missing the biggest threat, and I think they're purposefully not saying it. But I think Germany is going to join the BRICS.
Yes.
Which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and it's either, some people say it's South Africa. I don't see South Africa being the economic powerhouse. I mean, they can't even feed themselves right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually South Korea. But, you throw Germany in that mix, and that's 80% of the world's trade right there.
Well, they're also talking about Mexico joining too.
I don't believe that had happened.
Well, when I read the article, it definitely mentioned Mexico too. So that would be pretty bad.
I think Mexico's economy is tied to our economy too closely.
That's why I think that it's like they're trying to backdoor that crap. You know what I mean? Even though it looks like and South Africa and the rest of them are doing this thing on the side, involved. I just know it. They're just
and I think this is in on it.
Yeah.
And if you take a look at what everybody's favorite topic, the Bilderberg. Oh my God, the Bilderbergs are meeting. They never do, and
that's an interesting point.
Look at, right?
Yeah.
If you're 1 in a million in China, there's 1,800.
Absolutely.
So, look at China is some scary stuff.
And danger. Well, it is fatal. I mean, we've gotten how much of our debt is just astronomical amounts, and they're going to come and claim it, and they're going to come claim it. You know what I mean? They're going to want that soon, and they're going to. And just like they're letting, the Chicano people doing that, man.
Chicano people are taking what they want. Just like United States, because, well, to be honest with you, Mexicans can't keep secrets. Around enough of them for my entire life to know that if there was some sort of that would be exposed. Mexico groups like the Atlan or Reconquista or whatever. There's Chinese groups like that. There's Korean groups like that. I think that somebody went to one of these meetings and somebody was high or drunk and they were talking about, wouldn't it be great if we got all the Mexicans together and took back San Diego? And that's where it came, and he ran with it. First place I truly ever heard Aztlan and the Aztlan plan and Reconquista was on Alex Jones like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
It's all bullshit. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna put
because really, what are they gonna? If the Mexicans do come in and take over, what are they gonna do? Like turn the white people into slaves? Come on, now that ain't gonna happen because, well, shit, white people have been using Mexicans as like housekeepers and gardeners and shit for years. What, you gonna suddenly turn the table and you're gonna have Mr. Tim Thomerson from Milwaukee, Wisconsin out there like doing dishes and mowing the lawn for Jaime Gutierrez? No.
Hey man, that might be the plan. That may just be the plan.
I don't think it's going to happen like that. I think if it was the plan, it would have happened a long time ago.
Perhaps. I mean, it's I don't know. I just feel like
my thing is that Mexicans can't even have like surprise birthday parties. Because once somebody knows, it goes to another cousin, and it goes to a friend, which goes back to a cousin, and by the end of the day, the person who's going to have the surprise party knows they're having the surprise party. And right. I truly think that if there was like a great big plan like this, pretty much anybody who's got like on like regular basis, everyday contact with Hispanic people would know about it. That's why I think it's bullshit, I think really Alex Jones pioneered that, and he sells fear and fear-based products, and who better to buy the fear and fear-based products than scared people in Minnesota? Oh my God, there's going to be Mexicans up here. They're going to put Taco Bell sauce on my hamburger. Yeah, no.
Oh my God. So you never even asked anybody about this stuff? I mean, you never even inquired?
I've got a really, really good friend who's a Mexican immigrant. He's actually still a Mexican citizen just because he hasn't done the paperwork or anything. He's married to an American woman. He's gone back and forth between Mexico and the United States several times. I talk to this guy probably 3 or 4 times a week. Mm-hmm. And not just, hey, what's up, but like we'll sit down, we'll have a Coke, we'll have a cup of coffee, we'll yap, that kind of stuff. And no, not once has he ever mentioned that my people are going to rise up and take command over this place. No.
Okay. Well, all right.
I think there's big business in fear, and there's even bigger business in fear that people don't understand.
Right.
Bilingual fear sells very, very well.
That's true. It's because when you can't get people communicating with each other and nobody understands what the hell's going on, it's easier to control them.
Yeah, I think if you start taking a look at the people who spread the fear, mm-hmm. It starts the fear-based story starts unraveling.
Yeah, you could be right.
Let's. We were just discussing the whole Aztlan and Reconquista stuff, and this was, as we both know, this was kind of like it came to the mainstream, the forefront of in everybody's mind through Alex Jones. Well, let's take a look at Alex Jones and what he doesn't talk about.
Right. You there?
Yeah. You got me?
Yeah.
I think that, seriously, 90% of everything he talks about is bullshit. He may have 90% facts and then 10% conjecture, but his facts are always pointed and leading. And so I think he's got a lot to gain by spreading the fear, but then there's certain things that he won't talk about. Let's drop a bomb.
Okay.
Alex Jones is married. His wife's name is Violet.
Yeah.
Do you know that Violet is a dual citizen with Israel?
I didn't know that. Hey. Had no idea.
That's right. Alex Jones has 3 kids with Violet. Because Alex is Israeli, Alex Jones's kids are Israeli. Because Alex Jones is married to Violet, Alex Jones now has a get out of jail free pass. Alex Jones, because he's the father of 3 half Jewish kids, now has the right opportunity.
Well, I don't know that for a fact. I have no idea about that. I couldn't say that for sure or not for sure. You know what I mean? I don't know that for a fact. Do you know that for absolute 100% fact?
I know that for an absolute 100% fact.
Really? How do you...
Well, because, number one, he has said that his wife is Israeli. His wife used to work for an animal rights group that had ties to B'nai B'rith, and he has stated on multiple occasions that yes, he's married to a Jewish woman.
Okay.
And he actually stated on air that he has the right of return, as do his children.
Damn.
So he talks about that, but let's look at the big fear that he's bringing in right now. Right now, his thing is the white man is under assault because the Mexicans are taking over. Yet, at the same time he's doing that, he's screaming about family values and all that. Well, the people that have the family values right now are the Hispanic immigrants, the new Hispanic immigrants. I'm not talking about second and third generation Americans of Hispanic descent who've spent 2 or 3 generations on welfare and subsidized housing and all that, but the people that just come across the border, and this generation or last generation, that's the true meaning of family values.
Well, hold on. The ones that are just coming across the border, they're non-immigrants, though.
When I'm not talking about the ones coming across the border like in the last month. Since this whole big rush, the train La Bestia or whatever they call it, is trucking up truckloads of Guatemalan kids. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that came in the last 10 years.
Okay.
They come in, they start a business, they open up a restaurant, they start a landscaping business, or a tire shop, a construction company. They take their money, they provide for their children, they have big birthday parties for their kids, they love their wife. Christmas is a big deal for them. Sundays they all go to church. I don't think you could find any more family value than that right there. Because that's what everybody's talking about, is the family value. And that's who's got it. They don't want to say that.
Absolutely. Well, that's. I mean, I agree with that. They're hardworking, and they've got strong family values. I mean, that's all well and good. So how come they can't deal with their own governments and stay home where they can make their family values stronger?
I think the bigger question is, why don't they stay home? But who's giving them the green light to come through?
Right.
And if you start looking at who's giving the green light to come through, you find the same group that also wants to take away your guns.
That's right.
You find the same group that kowtows to the banking industry.
That is the banking industry.
You find the same group that wants to make war on every Muslim in the world.
Yep, I agree with that.
So, and, straight up, like, old Mexican ladies don't end up in nursing homes.
Right, because, I mean,
the family takes care of them.
Takes care of the elders, right. I mean, that's very, very strong Native American value as well. You respect your elders and you take care of your elders. In this country, we kind of toss our elders to the side and don't give a rat's ass about what they're doing, which is really, really sad, because I would never, ever personally do that to my mom and, or dad. And I really
Remember when
admire...
I wanted a computer for Christmas, Mom? This is your nursing home now.
Oh, my God, and there's assholes out there that do that, too. Oh, my God. I could never even imagine doing that. Oh, man. And, kudos to everybody out there who right now are taking care of their parents. Mr. Jimmy Funky's one of them. So kudos out there.
Dan is out there. Dan from Primer Time is out there putting in the work for his mom as well.
Yep, that's right. So there you go. We're not all like slag and lazy and stuff. It's weird because they're kind of trying to turn the tables, and it used to be that, Mexicans are all lazy and stuff, and they all smoke marijuana and all this crap, right? And so now it's kind of turning around, and now it's the white people that are lazy, and all they want to do is sit around, drool, and play video games and crap like this. So it's bizarre how these things can change, how the scope of things, the landscape can just change from one complete opposite extreme to another. I mean, not all of us know, but it used to be that the Democrats were all the KKK and the racist pig thugs that ran around and, burned people and hung people on, put crosses in people's yards and all this crap. That was the Democratic Party, man.
The Democrats right now like to claim Lincoln as the friend to the immigrant and friend to the minority. Yeah. Well, number one, Lincoln was a Republican.
Exactly.
Okay, and number two, Lincoln didn't really have any kind of serious Jones about freeing the slaves. If you take a look at some of his quotes, you'll see that Lincoln was not a friend to the American Negro. And before his death, Lincoln had shipped off 30,000 slaves to Belize. He shipped off, I think it was 50,000 slaves to Guyana in South America, and he'd also put a whole bunch on a boat and shipped them back to Africa. And that's where we get Liberia from.
Right. And really,
so he wasn't like a friend of the black man or anything. He just didn't want two white men to fight over the black man.
Well, historically, when black people were in positions of power, such as in Congress, and, not very many senators, but I'm sure in the past there have been a few, but they were always Republican. Always, 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 always Republican. And so now it's the same damn thing. They change the landscape around, and they change everybody's brain structure around, and they totally ignore history, and they rewrite everything and as they go, and it's sick. It makes me freaking want to puke, dude.
I'm in the same boat, and then we get stuck almost talking into the Republican versus Democrat thing. Becoming viewers of the Great Big Puppet Show. Ooh, I like that puppet on the left. No way, the puppet on the right's way better.
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's one guy holding up both puppets.
Yeah. And you gave him money to watch this crap.
That's right, exactly. They make you pay for your own enslavement, and it's the joke's on us, really, when it comes right down to it. They're laughing at us, and they're taking all our money out of our bank accounts and our stocks and our retirement, and they're laughing all the way to their little banks. That's what there's going on.
Well, when it comes down to it, it's going to make us all dependent on some sort of government welfare, and I think that was the plan of the Great Society. Yeah. I truly think that welfare was the greatest weapon that they could have used on poor people. And I think it was originally designed to be used on blacks, but yeah, whatever poor people we can throw into this meat grinder. And I think welfare is a dangerous weapon. I mean, I'm not saying that I want kids to starve or anything, but if you've got a woman who before would have a baby and was dependent on the husband for the baby, to provide for the baby. Once you take away that husband, she can now go out and have as many kids as she wants. He can go out and have as many kids as they want because, somebody's going to pay for it.
Exactly.
And that leads to a great destruction.
It is. And the last figure I kind of was hearing bouncing around, that there could be close to 100 million Americans on welfare, which is crazy.
Well, there's 90 million Americans in the workforce?
Yeah.
And it is over half of the United States population gets a check from the government somehow. It's either a welfare check or a Medicare check or a need to dependent families, or it's a government pension, or it's Social Security, or it's a military retirement or something. Half the people in this country get a check from the government every year.
Right. Or even if it's a farmer subsidy, that counts too.
Yeah, yeah. And that'll come into the, the white man is getting run out. Well, I got a clue for the white folk out there. You want your race to continue and have its place. Make babies. Go home and make healthy babies. Quit bitching about everything and go make a healthy baby. That's how you stop the white race from being erased.
And there's so many. I mean, the left thinking out there is like, oh my God, there's so many the world's overpopulated, and all our resources are going to be gone in 20 years. You know, I've been hearing that for the last 20 years. Just because
we're about the same age range, and you remember, like when you were like in third, fourth grade, they were talking about we were entering global cooling. And by the time we were adults, it was going to be, snowdrifts in Los Angeles.
Yeah, exactly. It was in the 70s they were talking about that.
Right. I guess we all forgot about that.
Well, there's another example of how they switch things completely around to the opposite to make people believe the absolute opposite. It's global warming. First it was global cooling. And, you know what I mean? This is exactly another example of that. They do this, like, all the time, and people just fall for it, hook, line, and sinker, without even giving it a second thought, or without even remembering, like, wow, weren't they, like, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago saying it was going to be, like, an ice age?
Right. But now, there wasn't any kind of carbon credit you could attach to an ice age.
Right.
There wasn't a way to tax somebody because it was getting cold.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, these bastards pisses me off, man. I just get all hot under the collar and all pissed off. I mean, I just want to do something about it, and all we're doing is sitting here bitching.
Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to get you riled up to where you want to do something about it. And you're a smart kid, so you're not going to actually get up and do something about it by picking up your shotgun and going down to the police station and shooting it up. Maybe they're counting on people out there that just aren't as slick as you.
The thing is they tried to put in they tried to do that. They tried to accuse that to us. Like the whole Hutari thing, that's what the whole base was about.
Right.
They tried to make these guys out to be cop killers when all they were doing was sitting around talking about it over a barbecue and laughing their asses off. That's all I was going on.
And just an aside from that, I saw all the Hutari mugshots. Ladies and gentlemen, before you go to jail, comb your hair and look good, because those Hutari mugshots really weren't helpful to the case at all. They made everybody look like just some sort of psychopath.
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to get comfort, comb your hair back when you've got like 20
when you're tucked behind your back.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of they were all pissed off. So, it's like, they're showing their pissed off face, I during the trial, like, they didn't have suits to wear. So I went to, like, the Salvation Army, those who didn't have suits. I went and got donations, and I got them suits. In fact, I got them 2 suits so that they can have a change of clothes. And I would go down there all the way to Detroit just to change their suits out. And that was quite a big deal. And the judge actually had to order the marshals to, let me bring in like soap and razor blades and stuff like that into the freaking courthouse. So I was probably one of the only ones that was allowed to bring like razor blades.
And I think you hit on something really good there. If they deny him soap and razor blades, and we combine that with the scary mug shots. Well, when they get into court and they haven't had soap or razor blade for 2 months, yeah, look at that beast over there.
That's right. That's exactly it. And I wasn't going to allow that to happen. Damn it! And I did what I had to do. And I'm not like bragging or any of this, but damn it, I did what I had to do. And they ended up getting acquitted. So. and they all looked damn good throughout the whole trial. So that was
really the
main thing.
only terrorists that the United States has ever caught and convicted are the guys that we set up.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, they always talk about, the FBI stopped another terrorist attack. Well, that's great. They probably could have stopped it before they gave the guy the idea to do it, and then gave him $3,000 and a shotgun.
Right, back in 93 with the first World Trade Center bombing. I mean, that whole thing. That's what stood out back then in my mind. Was I was like, the FBI gave this guy the bomb, really? And I remember that back then. I remember that coming out, and I remember thinking, that is screwed up bad. And that was kind of like the beginning of me waking up to this crap. And I distinctly remember those stories coming out right after the...
Well, okay, not too long ago, there was that guy in New York who had... he had a Nissan Pathfinder, and it was full of gallons of gas, and I think he had fireworks in it or something. Mm-hmm. And we found this terrorist, and he was getting ready to blow up this truck in the middle of Times Square. And look, he had a bag of screws in the back. That was shrapnel, and that kind of noise. Well, and then it turns out that this guy is kind of half retarded. He's got an IQ of 86 or something like that. He didn't have a driver's license, and who paid for the truck? Well, there was, strangely enough, there was a magical $7,000 deposit to his account.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, for a guy who had $18 in his account for 2 years, now he gets $7,000, and then a month later he goes out and he's on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's how these bastards work, man. During the jury selection of the Hutari trial, they were asking, one of the questions that they were asking the jurors is, how do you feel about the use of confidential informants? And every single freaking juror, I don't think that there was one single juror that didn't have a problem with it. And that's a big freaking deal. That's a big deal. I mean, do you people realize what the hell you're saying? I mean, do you realize these confidential informants are the ones that are perpetuating the actual crime here? And every single juror that did get selected, by the end of that trial, they were like, "Whoa, man! The confidential informer was the one that was pulling all the crap." And then the damn agent that the FBI sent in, this dude was the one who was bringing the bombs to the party. So, did I lose you, dude? I think I lost him. Let's see. Yep. Can anybody hear me? Or let's see. Can you guys hear me out there in the chat room? Can you let me know? Because there's a problem with Hammy's call. I'm wondering if I'm coming through, though. Chat room. Can anybody tell me if I'm here? Hello? Okay, guys. I know Michael's out, but am I still coming in? Or do we have dead air? Oh, we might have dead air. Damn it. Okay. Yay! Okay, good. Alright, well... Alright, so that's basically it. I mean, it just pretty much turns out that... yeah, he can... I don't know, the Skype's all screwed up now, so... Alright, yeah, that's pretty much it then. The FBI was the one that brought the bombs to the party. They were the ones that set them off. They were the ones that set us up. So, and it's the same freaking story, no matter if it's Muslims that they're trying to set up, no matter, and there was 6 months before all this Hutari stuff happened, they had another raid at another warehouse here in Michigan, actually, where they actually shot an imam over 20 times, 25 times, and killed him after they set the dogs on him. So, let me see if I can't bring him back in here. Let's see here. Yep. Let's see. Alright. So, yeah, and they just shot this poor guy in cold blood. And they tried to set him up with a bunch for receiving stolen goods. So, over and over and over and over and over, we see this. Every single time, every single case. You know, these confidential informants are, you know, setting up their marks, you know. And it makes me angry, and I don't know, it just happens over and over in every single one of these cases. So when they say, like, oh, the Zarnoff brothers were the ones responsible for the Boston bombing, I immediately go to the BS, that's complete BS, and I immediately, the go-to thing with all of these cases is that it was the FBI that has done it, and they have set somebody up, and we all know that during the Boston bombings, a big drill was going on, and we know now who the patsies were. They've been doing this since time immortal. They've done this. This is their little tactics. Old tactics works the best. They've been doing this in Napoleonic times, in fact. So it's no different. People just, you know, their memory holes are so damn shallow. Everybody forgets really easily. You there again?
I am. I don't know what happened. My phone just shut off. Maybe we hit on a good topic, and it actually just shut my phone all the way off.
Oh, there we go. The FBI topic.
Maybe that was it, you know, because it just shut off. It shut off right. Just phone is shutting down. You've said the wrong word.
Oh my God! So it just shut off, like out of the
like it turned off.
Wow, that's very odd. Yeah, they didn't like that topic, I guess.
No, they don't like it. They don't like anybody telling the truth about what's going on, or maybe having people giving them the opportunity to say, "Hey, this ain't exactly as it is on TV."
Right. Any alternate viewpoint that other than what they spout on TV is dangerous.
That could very well be it. I mean, there's a lot of power in controlling people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the whole NSA scandal, man. I mean, didn't somebody say that there's more Snowden stuff coming out today? Was that you?
Yeah, this morning they said that Cryptome, which is a website that hosts a lot of secret documents and release documents. They just put them up. They don't give any kind of editorial with them. No headline that grabs the eye. It's just this is document number 12345 from NSA files, you know, and they put it up. Well, a while back they said that Cryptome had said that they were going to release all the Snowden documents today, and no, it didn't happen.
Really? That's interesting, man. So I wonder what came out to block that. That's very interesting. We're probably going to hear like somebody in that organization killed themselves last night. Or
but
tonight.
You know, Snowden hasn't really said anything when it comes down to it. Like, you can't say that we didn't know that everything was being monitored before.
Right.
I mean, we all knew it. All he did was come out and confirm it.
True.
You know.
Yeah.
None of his information is any kind of groundbreaking, earth-shattering stuff. And here's really what makes the whole thing stink to me, is that all this information that he's put out, you know, oh yeah, the United States does bad stuff in Africa. Oh, the United States does bad stuff in India. Oh, the United States does bad stuff in Europe. There's never any kind of mention of the Israelis in there.
That's true, is it?
Maybe I'm a bad guy or whatever, but the Israelis are not the American friends. You know, there's the great line that, oh, well, there are only friends in the Middle East. Well, I'll tell you what, before they became our friends in the Middle East, we didn't have any enemies there.
That's true.
And I think like the last problem we had was like, with the Barbary Coast pirates in like 1826 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it all started with back in the 70s and crap with Mossadegh and all them. So.
Well, yeah, the Mossadegh thing happened like in 1943. But the Israelis really became our friends right after, what was it? It was probably about 60. Because, this is really popular, but when Israel was established, they were leaning towards the Russians. They wanted to be friends with the Russians and not with us.
Oh, okay. You cut a whole bunch of what you just said cut out, but I kind of got the gist of it.
The family of Israel had a lot to do with the Russians. If you take a look at the three common languages in Israel are Russian and English. Russian is more prevalent than English.
Right. So just when you started to say that stuff again about Israel, you cut out. So they're screwing around, man. It's just very obvious.
The Israelis over the side until it was towards the end of plot, and his removing people of Jewish ancestry from his circle of influence, and a lot of Jews left Israel at that time, and with the consequences of the doctor's plot is now the word Jew in Russian also has like a connotation of traitor.
Oh?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
The doctor's plot was Stalin's attempt to remove basically the old school Bolsheviks and the Jewish hardliners from his regime. And where did all those guys go? To Israel.
I was going to say Siberia.
No, he got rid of them. He didn't want them in the country anymore.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's very interesting.
A lot of propaganda from the time when the Israelis were really like getting chummy with the Soviets, and a whole lot of hammer and sickle intertwined with the Star of David.
Mm-hmm.
The Tel Aviv Communist Collective, was holding a meeting tonight, on how to disrupt the imperialist ways of the Americans. Well, that was great until they needed our money.
Exactly. That's right, man. And, really, I mean, Israel is not supposed to be, Jews aren't supposed to have a state. They're supposed to, really, according to, the Torah, which is really the only thing they should be following instead of, the Talmud and all the other crap. But really, in the Torah, it says that Jews are supposed to be wandering the earth, not having an established state anywhere. So they're just there. They're going against their own teaching.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That really doesn't surprise me. Yeah. I've not seen anything trustworthy come out of Israel.
Me neither. To tell you the truth. They're engaged in genocide at the moment.
They're engaged in pure pilfering from the American taxpayer. That Iron Dome rocket, each one of those, okay, number one, it was completely financed by the United States. We paid for the whole thing. And number two, each one of those rockets that they fire up that they have, oh, look at this, we destroyed another Palestinian warhead, blah, blah, blah. Each one of those rockets costs $50,000.
At least.
50 grand. You know, that's like firing a brand new Chevy truck up into the sky to go hit a rocket.
Oh my God. So like, and then you said this morning that they're putting in an executive thing to get more money to fund
200. Yeah, Congress right now they're scrambling to get $225 million more.
Why don't they just pull it out of their own damn paychecks? But of course, they're going to take it out of our hides, and we can't
because
give it.
We pay their paychecks.
That's right. That's true. Damn it. Oh my God. They got all these insider trading investments. Pull it out of there. Bastards.
Well, isn't it interesting that you bring up, you know, out of the investments and all that. Well, look at Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff robbed people for 10, 15 years until he robbed the wrong people.
Right. He robbed one of them, and they made him pay, and they put him
He
up
robbed one of his own.
That's right, and then they put him up as a sacrificial lamb and slit his throat.
Yeah, I really think that it's incompatible. That the Zionist way of life is incompatible with the way America is supposed to be.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. They're just wiping their butts with the Constitution, literally. It means nothing. Their oaths mean nothing. And every single one of those senators and congressmen took an oath to support and defend the Constitution, did they not?
Well, they take that, but then they get the all expenses paid trip to Israel. Right as soon as they become a congressman, they get shipped off to Israel. Here's what you're going to vote for, and here's how you're going to see this, and here's how you're going to do that. Oh yes, Shlomo, I'll do it.
Shlomo.
Let me go kiss the wall. Give me one of them funny hats.
There was a Bill Hicks joke or a skit that he did where the newly elected congressman or senator, they take them into the back room where they show them a different angle of the Kennedy assassination. You know what I mean? You do what we say. This is what's going to happen to you. Type crap.
Yeah, I could see something. Maybe it's not exactly that, but you know, maybe it's a little more damning and scary. Maybe they go in and they say, okay, this is how much money you got this year, and if you don't toe the line, this is how much money you'll get next year.
Right, or they pump them full of drugs, and then they send little kids in there, and then they film them secretly, and then, you know...
She looked like she was 15, I swear, officer!
Right, exactly. Blackmail. They've got something on every single one of these senators and congressmen. They blackmail them, and this is how it operates in the
well, and even when they do catch them engaged in blackmail, nothing happens to them.
No, not at all.
Are you familiar with Jane Hartman? She was a representative from California. She was caught in an FBI sting speaking to Israeli intelligence agents, saying that, yes, she will push this through. Yes, she will push that through. No, you don't have to worry about this. I'm on that committee.
Wow.
And then she took like $450,000. Well, nothing happened to her.
Nothing happened to her, huh?
Nothing happened to her.
So why did the FBI...
And as a matter of fact, nothing happened to her, and she's a regular contributor to CNN now.
See, they get promoted, and they get freaking television spots, like Ollie North.
Yeah.
Same shit. It's the same crap. And so what? The FBI spent all this money investigating this stupid, like, wench, and nothing came out of it, huh? That really...
Yeah, well, I mean, how much money did they spend investigating the Israelis after 9/11? Because I mean, if you'll remember, like Carl Cameron from Fox News had that really great expose. Great expose that you can find it on YouTube. It's not on Fox News's archives or anything. But he had a lot of questions about the Israelis. And I mean, if you really want to go into the dancing Israelis,
yes.
How did they know that they were going to be there?
Exactly.
How do they know that, to set up the cameras and all that kind of stuff
right.
for that? And that went nowhere. I mean, there's quotes from Colin Powell on there saying that, I understand some of those Israelis have been arrested, but I'm going to have to direct you to the Department of Justice for that. I can't answer that. Well, of course you can't answer that.
You're not getting paid to answer that. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on, and they probably had a different camera angle from everybody else that was there at 9/11. You know what I mean? So when they get shipped over, when they get elected and get shipped over to Israel for free, you know, they get shown those different 9/11 camera angles. You know, I mean, it's the same shit. I mean, it doesn't matter what, you know, what event it was. We all know that they pulled the trigger on it to begin with, and this is exactly where we're at now. And they're just making it. They're just going to make it a lot worse, And they're trying to get rid of all of us that aren't like them, and that's what pretty much the bottom line is here.
Yeah, I think the push to eliminate the free thinkers is in full swing, and. Yes. If nothing else, on Fox. Turn on Fox News, and you'll see that the push to eliminate the free thinkers is in overdrive. I did see an interview the other day, and I don't really watch. I catch clips on YouTube that would show, you know, the vital and most important parts of interviews and stuff. I don't watch the news that shows, and then an officer in Paducah, Kentucky rescued a kitty cat today. I don't get that kind of news. I'll get the other stuff. Yeah. And there was recently an interview with Sean Hannity, some sort of, I don't know, he's a professor of Israeli studies at some public university in the United States. And then they had a representative of Hamas on. Now, I'm not going to get into the politics of it. I will say that I understand if you're like held down by your throat and starved, yeah, kicking at somebody isn't necessarily a terrorist act. You know, right. Trying to get them off of you isn't a terrorist act. And this interview with Sean Hannity was probably the worst interview I've seen ever. And it was really bad to the point where I wanted to turn it off, but I wanted to watch the whole thing because it was that bad. And he screamed and yelled, accused this guy of being a terrorist and a terrorist sympathizer, and basically he said that all Palestinians are Hamas supporters. And I truly don't believe that. Just in the same way that every American is not a Democrat or every American is not a Republican, there is no goddamn way on the face of the earth that every Palestinian is Hamas.
Yeah, it's impossible, you know, and Hannity's nothing but a freaking shill for AIPAC.
Remember who Hannity used to have on his radio show long before he got his TV show? Remember when he had his show, Hal from North Bergen used to call in all the time. And who is Hal from North Bergen?
Don't know.
That's Hal Turner.
Oh, of course.
Hal Turner was a regular caller and contributor to Sean Hannity's radio show.
Okay, and we know that he was working with the FBI to go into white supremacist circles and create trouble. He didn't
get any. Hal Turner didn't get any trouble until he posted the names and addresses of federal judges online. But he also says that he was given the order to do that by his handler.
Exactly. Which was FBI.
That's right.
Yeah, that actually came out a little bit in the Hutari trial. They actually talked about that on the record. So that's there we go again. Here comes this FBI, like, you know, this FBI infiltrator crap. So coercion and destruction causing bullcrap. So, you know, they've got a hand in this. They've been doing this stuff for a long freaking time, and I think Hal Turner's still in prison, isn't he?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Either that or he's getting real close to getting out.
Wow, hopefully he doesn't get out. I don't know. Keep the infiltrators in there, I say. Man, he's probably just gonna get, if he does get out, and he's gonna just go and keep doing the same damn crap, and he's gonna get paid by them, and they're gonna ensnare more people in this sickening web of deceit of theirs. It just pisses me off.
So let's take a look at the kind of stuff that Hal Turner said.
Sure.
The outrage and vitriol he was trying to stir up, and let's take a look at the fat man from Austin.
Mm-hmm. Same thing, right?
Right. That's why I truly don't believe anything that he says about Reconquista. Honestly, I don't believe a goddamn thing he says.
Right.
And I actually listened to him over the weekend. I was out running around, and I can sometimes I can get 590 KLBJ in my truck.
Oh, okay.
And so I hear his actual radio broadcast. It's not an internet feed or anything.
Right.
And I mean with commercials, so it's kind of funny to hear him going on about the New World Order, and then Don Pugh Ford selling brand new 2014 F-250s at only 17 underneath the sticker price.
That's funny. That is pretty funny, actually. They actually have him here.
He made like $8 million last year.
Really?
Like $8 million profit. Yeah.
Damn. That's a lot. That's a big chunk. No wonder he's talking about leaving the country.
Yeah, wooden American. I wonder where he's going to end up going. I bet you he's got a nice little condo in Haifa waiting for him right now.
Haifa. Oh man.
I'm not joking. That's the area. That's near the beach. That's where he wants to be.
Yep. Isn't that area like completely being bombarded by shells right now?
Haifa is in Israel, and I believe they got one Roman candle that went over about a month ago.
I see. Yeah.
Gaza, which is like 70, 80 miles north of that. Oh. Yeah, that's being turned into dust.
Yeah.
And literally turned into dust. I watched a video the other day, and it was 12 minutes of Israeli shelling that occurred prior to the ceasefire, and it was kind of sped up, and it was like watching a destruction of a entire block, and I mean a big block, 6-7-story apartment buildings on this thing, and one right after another, boom, into dust, boom, into dust, boom, into dust, and then it looked like just a pile of rubble where there were several housing units.
Yeah, you don't think any innocent children that aren't part of a mosque got killed in that? Yeah, you know what I mean? There's kids getting killed all the time.
Those are young Hamas supporters.
Or young would-be Hamas. I mean, come on. It just, oh my god, it turns my stomach, it pisses me off, it makes me sick. And what's the ratio? What, 1,000 dead Palestinians to like
I believe as of this morning they're at 1,350, and I believe there's 37 dead Israelis, which is kind of a misnomer, right? Because it's 1,350 dead Palestinians, which are pretty much all civilians, because Hamas doesn't have a uniform. So they're not really an army because they don't have a navy or an air force.
Right.
So they're civilians. So it's 1,350 civilians versus the 37 dead Israelis. Well, that almost makes you think that, it's a bunch of dead Israeli civilians. No, it's soldiers. It's like 35 of them are soldiers, and 2 of them were contractors.
Yeah.
So it's people who were in the way.
There's contractors all involved up on there too, man. I mean, those contractors are all over the freaking world. They're stirring up trouble, doing all kinds of crap, man. Wow. We used to have we had a contractor and his wife. His wife was taking the self-defense classes. Since all this stuff started, in Iraq.
Hey, do you still take the jiu-jitsu classes?
I do. Yeah, I do. Hey, man, if you're going to learn how to fight, you might as well fight like the enemy fights, right? So you know how to fight them when they come, correct?
I think when the way that they're fighting us is by messing with like mortgages and treasury bills and municipal bonds. I think that's how they're fighting us. I don't think I really don't think that, whatever the strength of the Israeli army is, I think I read it was nearly 170,000 soldiers. Yeah, they're not coming here.
Right.
Just like Iran isn't coming here, just like Pakistan's not coming here.
Right, right.
Unless we bring them in.
Yeah, the Mexican army will be coming in across the border next. The thing that I really like about this Krav Maga is that it's straight up street fighting. Straight up. It's gun and knife disarming. You don't really learn that in like karate or the typical Eastern practices. I mean, they teach like with weapons and stuff in like Taekwondo and stuff like that, but they don't teach like how to disarm a gun or stop a knife attack. You can jiu-jitsu, real Taekwondo and Eastern thoughts are Eastern practices of self-defense.
I'm really honest. I'm kind of surprised that Krav Maga doesn't actually teach you to get somebody else to fight for you, and then have them pay you to do it, because that's how the enemy does it right now.
I gotta laugh at that. I'm sorry. The guy who's teaching it is like a white guy. He's a total goy dude. So, and it's fine.
Is he Jewish, or is he?
He's not at all.
That's interesting.
He's not at all.
That's interesting.
He is a sheriff. He's part of. He's on the sheriff. He's a deputy sheriff. So it'd
be interesting to find out how many sheriff's departments and police departments and marshals throughout the United States have had training from the Israelis. And I tell you what, that's the big clue that you and I and everybody listening to this are the new Palestinians.
There you go. So, I know for a fact, a dead straight up fact, because he told me this. He told me that I personally have a lot more hand-to-hand combat experience than anybody on the force of the entire county of in the sheriff's department. So they don't.
And that's why they give them tasers with reloads.
Right. Because they do a little bit of hand-to-hand, like, maybe once every 3 or 4 months. But I've got a lot more experience than those guys do. So this is also in reason why I'm taking these classes. I'm taking them. I've been there for a year and a half now, and I'm getting pretty good. I never knew how to throw a punch before these classes. Now I know how to throw a punch, and I know how to make it count, and I know how to, get out of a chokehold. And if there's like some big 300-pound dude on me, I know how to get the hell out of that. So, and before I didn't. I had no clue. I wasn't even prepared to defend myself before these classes. So, in that sense, I'm very grateful for it. It just kind of happens to be a Jewish form of self-defense or whatever.
Jiu-jitsu. It's jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu, yeah, that's right. So I don't even pay attention to that crap. I'm just worried about what the hell's going to happen when the lights go out and how the hell I'm...
Do they try to give you any sort of propaganda in this?
Not at all. No, whatsoever.
You don't start the meeting with a prayer for the...
No way.
For the Golani Brigade or something like that?
Nope, not at all. How we start out each class is with CrossFit. And we're doing burpees, and we're doing box jumps, and we're doing that.
Man, I haven't done burpees since like high school football.
Dude, I just did a bunch of them last night.
Do a couple for me, because I'm not doing those things.
They're pretty intense, man. Let me tell you. It's so that's how we started out, and the only even hint that there's anything remotely Jewish about this whole thing is just that there's the Israeli flag hanging there next to the Japanese flag, because he also teaches Taekwondo. Or, I'm sorry, the Korean flag. Sorry. Yeah. Taekwondo is Korean.
One of those flags with a dot in it.
Yes. So he's got that flag, he's got the Korean flag, and he's got the American flag. We're all right next to each other. So that's it. And that's the only reference. In the whole year and a half that I've been there, that's it. So
I know that the sheriffs in my area have been given the option to take that, and they did have some it was a group of ex-Mossad guys or ex-IDF soldiers that were teaching a class, and they hit like 3 or 4 sheriff's departments around this area.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't think my big fat Bubba cop needs to know all that kind of stuff.
That's funny. I could certainly. I don't think I could like. I don't think I could like fight off 5 cops all trying to jump on my back and hold me down. I doubt I could get out of that. But one-on-one for sure. I mean,
yeah, but cops don't fight one-on-one.
No, they don't. They don't. They fight in packs. So they attack in packs, I should say.
And I'll tell you what. For anybody who's tactically minded out there, they fight in packs and they stand together in groups.
Yeah.
There is no there's not a little bit of space between them. Like you'd see, like you watch movies and yeah, military guys all walk together. You watch actual video of military guys walking, and there's 20 yards between each one of them.
That's right.
And cops like to stand together and, you got any more donuts? Well, no, but I've got this coffee with some steroids in it. Well, great, share that with me.
I saw this footage the other day of this kid. I guess the cops were called to his house for some freaking reason, I don't know. But he came out, and it shows, like, I guess the neighbors had a surveillance camera on their house, and it shows the kid coming out. He instantly gets on the ground. He puts his own hand behind his back, and one cop jumps on him and then starts beating him up instantly. And then you got 5 cops that joined him like within a matter of seconds. All like one of them pulled their baton out, started beating him. You could see the other ones kicking him, and then 2 cops came. There was a fence right there. 2 cops came like up over the fence, and they both shined their flashlights, and then they started to hide the light in their flashlights after the beating started, because they didn't want any light exposed on that. You know what I mean? And it just pisses me off, man. And the kid was complying, and you can see it in the video that he was complying with their demands, but they beat his ass anyway.
I think there's too many videos out there that show that. I mean, just off the top of my head, I can come up with 3 videos that show. There was that one with the kid in up north in an M state somewhere, and he had a screwdriver, and the cop showed up, and you actually hear the cop saying on the radio, "I don't have time for this," and 30 seconds later, the kid was shot and dead.
Oh my God!
And then there was that the one where the cop showed up at the kid's house. He came outside and he had the Nintendo controller in his hand, or video game controller, whatever it is, and yeah, they shot him too.
Oh my God! This is just happening all too often, these cops. Maybe these cops do need to freaking take these self-defense classes just to get some balls.
I really think that the cops, they don't need the job anymore. Because that's, in the end, that's what it is. It's just a job. It's not a vocation from the Almighty. Right. They weren't born with a special mole on their back that says that you're a cop. Right. It's not because your father was a cop and your grandfather was a cop. You by lineage become a cop. No, it's just a fucking job.
Yeah.
You know, seriously, it's nothing more than a Walmart door greeter with some power.
Yeah, Walmart.
And really, the sad thing is it's just a job, but these guys have become so institutionalized with the job. There's nothing else they can do.
Right.
I mean, how do you take a guy who's worked at a prison or worked, a patrol officer or some sort of cop for 20 years? How do you make him quit? And what does he do after that? Is he going to go work at a donut shop? Is he going to go, work at a convenience store? Is he going to be a mechanic? No.
Right.
They can't do it because they don't have any kind of power and control over people.
That's true. They're certainly not going to be the Walmart door greeter. That's for sure, man.
This is 10 items or less, civilian.
Right? 10 items or less. Oh, my God. Well, for sure, like, getting back to me and the Krav Maga stuff, the reasons why I'm taking these classes is so that I can deal with whatever comes when the lights go out, and that's my bottom line right there. And so far, even though I've taken a year and a half of these dang classes, I still feel like I'm not entirely there. So, I don't know. Give me
I think probably when the lights go out, I think the most important thing is going to be to have backup. I think is to have a large group with you.
I don't know. I'm starting not to trust large groups.
Well, when I say large group, I mean like a family and friends kind of a group.
Right.
I definitely do not advocate anybody joining your local militia or your local anti-fascist society or whatever they want to call it. Everybody's got a different name for it.
Yeah.
But I'd say that you have to have your group of your close friends and your family, and that's going to be a lot more important, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I hope that we don't get there, but it looks like we're getting there pretty quickly. I don't know how the hell we can turn this thing around either, to be honest.
I don't think it can be turned around. I think it's far too progressed for it to be shut down.
I agree. I agree. No sugarcoating it here, man. That's for damn sure. Wow, it's Wednesday already. It's already the end of the month. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. Time just seems to be going by so damn fast. Soon the snow's going to be starting to fall, man. Not where you are, but definitely up here.
Yeah, no, it won't. No, I have a feeling that today is going to be right near 100 degrees again.
Wow. Today?
Yeah, it's probably fairly warm right now. I think it's currently right now. It says it's 80 degrees right now.
Wow,
but,
we're at 72.
But the real feel says that it's 93.
Whoa,
which is like the heat index. But I think they lie to us.
Yeah. Well, they lie to us about everything else. They lie to us about the weather too. Oh my god!
Well, they're definitely not good at predicting it. I think my dog does a better job of predicting the weather. Which, by the way, she is. I can feel the puppies kicking inside her belly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I can feel them moving around, and her dog boobs are getting real big.
How did she go get knocked up in the first place, dude?
I went and I took her to a friend of mine. I did a gun show where I was going to be gone for the weekend. And a buddy of mine's got a lab just like her, except much bigger. And he's a good friend of mine. His dog is really good. And we had talked about doing this a while back.
Oh.
And then I'd lost my dog, Sasquatch, when I had my Arizona adventure. And I got her back. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm doing it now. Because I really want a puppy from her. I think she's just really that good of a dog that I want a puppy from this one.
Cool. Oh my god, one of my favorite things in the whole wide universe, my favorite smell is like puppy breath, man. And my best friend's dog just had puppies, and one of them was just like sucking on my nose, and it was just freaking me right out. I loved it. I was like, oh my god, this is fucking great. I love puppies, man.
I remember seeing it, because I got my dog from a friend of mine who bought her as a puppy, and then she became a lab, and she was just too big. And I always liked going over there and just seeing the puppy grow. It was just the cutest little thing running around and tripping over itself. And
yeah. Wow, you're going to get a lot of that here soon. I mean, so you'll have to tell us, like, when do you think she's about ready to drop? Like, soon?
I'm thinking really it's got to be this week sometime. Because, I mean, her boobs are getting big, and it's not just the two back boobs. It's she's up to like the third nipple that's full now. So if that's the key is to how far the boobs get, she's right around there. But I think it's 62 or 63 days is the gestation period for a dog.
Yeah.
And I think I'm coming right up on that. That's just a little over 2 months.
It's when all of them drop, all the teats drop. That's when it's going to happen. And so you just got to make sure that you have a safe and enclosed spot for her to have her puppies in, like under a table with a blanket over it, just like so she'll be able to feel safe and sheltered. That's what they want.
Yeah, yeah. I'm building her kind of like a little enclosure, and
that's great.
So it'll be like I'm thinking it's going to be about 10 by 12 or maybe 8 by 10, and it'll just have little sides on it, and then it'll have a kind of like you're saying, like a roof enclosure for her that she can go in and kind of, because she does like to do that, likes to get into like a little area, and especially when it rains, when she's got some sort of fear or something.
Yeah, all dogs love caves, like cave-like places. So that's important for them, especially when they're going to give pups. That they want that enclosure, they want to feel safe, like that. So that's cool,
really
man.
I'm looking forward to it. I know Gringo's getting a puppy. My friend Alex, his daughter is getting a puppy, and I'm keeping a puppy. So I'm hoping she makes enough to fulfill all these commitments on puppies.
Oh, how many you got?
I'm not even. I don't know how many she's going to have. I really don't.
Well, I mean, how many commitments do you have before you know how many puppies?
Right off, I've got 3.
Oh, right on. That's cool.
So,
that's really cool, actually.
I'm just hoping that they all come out as labs, and I don't get like a half lab, half chihuahua.
But
even if I get half lab, half chihuahua, I'm gonna keep one of them just because it's hers.
Sure. Is there like a possibility it could be chihuahua?
I don't know because I wasn't there. I wasn't there to watch her for that. The time when she had the love rendezvous with the other dog, and I don't know if anything else got in there or if she got
right.
Or what.
It'll probably be just pure lab. That's cool. Is his dog papered? Is she papered?
Yes. And the
That's awesome.
Like a lab that's more white. She's and then goes in the back, and yes.
Shit, you totally broke up there.
No, I'm just hoping that dog might have. She's a yellow lab. That's almost white. So.
Oh, okay.
I think up with 9 black labs. Here's how that's gonna work out.
Wow, hopefully if she has like 9, 10, or 12, you'll be able to find like homes for them,
Somebody said 16 puppies.
Yeah, that could be. It could be anywhere from like 16 to 2, or 1 even. So 1 to 16, I don't know. It depends on how big she gets. Is she like a giant like barrel, or is she not that bad?
Not that big. She's still able to move. She's slower getting up and moving around, and she's not as hungry as she was a couple days ago. And so I think it's right around it's got to be within this week.
Yeah, you're probably right. Like I said, my best friends had pups over there. So when they pretty much females come into heat around the same time in the springtime. So that means they would be having pups about now. So it's pretty much fits the program there. That's cool, man. You're lucky. I love pups, man. It's awesome.
I'm really looking forward to it. My big fear is what am I going to name this dog? But the name just comes to me.
Sure. Well, as soon as you get a load of the personality, the little nuances of the dog, a name will just come up. Something will just come to you.
Oh, your name is Carpet Crapper.
Carpet Crapper. Oh my God. Over there they had a 3-year-old name all the puppies, so they're all like, actually one of them is named after my dog Bella, and so that's kind of cute. And Spot, and one looks like there was a peanut on the head, so that one's Peanut, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty cute.
I kind of miss I used to have a weenie dog, and I'll tell you, I think weenie dogs are the coolest things in the world. They just make me laugh
A dachshund?
Just looking at it. Yeah, they just make me laugh looking at them. And I think they're pretty loyal, too. I think that if you're a male, you have a female, or a male. I think that's how it works with the ducks. But yeah, she got the name Godzilla because, yeah, she was like a small monster.
Really?
Yeah, she. I went to breakfast one time. And I live in a tiny little town that's it's only 1,500 people, no stoplight, and so I'll just take off and I grabbed $20. I was going up for breakfast. Well, I had like $800 in my wallet, and I came home maybe about 20 minutes after going to breakfast, and in that 20 minutes, that dog had shredded my wallet and shredded $800.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Oh my God! Did you
like Godzilla was? That was her name after that. I wanted to end that dog's life something fierce after that.
Yeah, but she didn't know what the hell she was eating. You know what I mean?
She just thought it was really good, especially when I walked in. She got a corner of $100 bill stuck to her nose.
Oh my God!
It took me like 6 hours to tape the money all back together.
Oh my God, you did! I was going to ask you, did you glue it all? Oh shit!
Yeah, it took me a while to put back, and I was never really good at puzzles.
Oh,
so.
Me neither, man. Jeez. Oh my God. Well, you know what? We're at the end of the show. Thank you, Michael, for being here, with me today, man. You totally rock, and I'm very, very grateful. So, and it's kind of cool that we were just rapping today because, sometimes reading the stories and hearing the clips, sometimes it's just good just to have just a rap session once in a while too. That's all good.
Yeah, I mean, we all got different things that have our concern and things that are at the forefront of our mind at that point. I think sometimes it's good just to get that out.
I think so too, dude.
Because honestly, we can all find the news and it's going to be depressing for both of us.
That's right. And it's going to be depressing for all of us, dude. So, might as well get the bitch out now. That's what I say. Oh my God. Well, and, and everybody in the chat room, thanks for being here and hanging out with us. And, try to donate to UCY. There's a donate tab over there on the front page, and check out some of the advertisements too, and support UCY.TV. Jules works her butt off, you guys. We gotta do our share to help support her whenever we can, because this is a gem that we've got here, and we gotta treat it as such. That is for sure. So
well, there's no other radio out there like this.
There isn't. Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. Everybody have a good day.
Yep, everyone have a great day. We'll be back here same time tomorrow. And check out all the great programming on UCY.TV tonight. It's Wednesday night.
Don't take any wooden shekels, people.
That's right. Take care.